Welcome to 60 Skills. Today's lecture is journaling, the real secret of the masters. All right, why is journaling so important? Well, as has often been discussed in the 60 Skills curriculum, cognitive dissonance is a real problem, not only for the practitioner performing a given technique, but also for other people around them when they are performing different techniques. The simple fact of the matter is, your brain wants to protect you from things that it finds disturbing. The result of which is, if something exceeds your commonly accepted belief structure severely enough, or breaks your view of reality, for lack of a better term, assuming you survive that experience, and we'll get to that in a moment, your mind will paper this over. People go into a kind of fugue state for a little bit where they just kind of disassociate in general, and then they gradually forget what happens. This has most often occurred, in my experience, when talking about esoterica with non-practitioners. I have several close friends that I have had the exact same conversation with at least 5 times. And 2 days later, 2 hours later, they don't remember a word of it. It's really quite odd. But the fact of the matter is, your brain works on a kind of closed loop system, where once it learns a given behavior, it's just going to keep up with that behavior unless something comes along that severely challenges it often enough that it's forced to rewrite that programming. So, what to be done about this? Well, when you see this happening with other people, for example, that infamous discussion on Islam between Ben Affleck and Sam Harris, it's really quite disturbing, because you see a person reacting to something in a way that isn't coherent with what's actually being said. It's very odd. And as an outside observer, because you're not emotionally involved with this, you can see it with some clarity. For those of us, or for people out there who've spent time in the military and deployed into a combat environment, it is not uncommon to see someone brand new to simply stand there once the shooting starts. This makes no sense. But this is such a common phenomenon that this is something that is often briefed in various military learning courses. That, hey, keep an eye out on your guys, because if they're new and this happens, they may just stand there. Now, over time, of course, this doesn't happen. But why would something like this happen? You're dealing with a trained soldier. He's been trained for weeks, or if not months or years. Why would he suddenly freeze up? Well, because his mind can't believe that someone's actually trying to kill him. And again, this is not a new phenomenon. This has gone on for a really long time and is well understood. So this doesn't just apply to esoterica, it applies to lots of things in life. If someone can't believe something is happening, their mind will act like it's not. It's really quite bizarre. Now, in terms of meditative and esoteric practice, we now get into a different set of issues. Most of your practice is going to be conducted, well, by yourself. The problem with this is, there's no one else to go, hey, look at what's happening. You're the only observer. So typically when we encounter a new meditative phenomena, we have a very short window afterwards in which we can actively remember what happened. A short period of time later, our memories become fuzzy, and an even shorter period of time afterwards, you'll forget about it altogether. So how do we get around this? Well, we get around this through the act of journaling. Journaling and the quality of your journaling often dictates your rate of progress. Because this little notebook, with a handful of notes scribbled in here, few that are ever more than a line or two, is written in your own hand. And this is incredibly powerful. So when you write something down in here, and then you go back and review it a few days, a few weeks, a few months, even a year later, that's a powerful tool for defeating cognitive dissonance. Because you're going to be reading about something, and it's your handwriting, so it's clear that it's not anybody else, that happened, even though you personally have no active memory of what occurred. What's even more curious is I've often found that when I go back and review these journals, whole new details came back that not only did I not realize later on, but I didn't realize when I was in the moment either. It's really quite curious. Now, for this reason, I strongly recommend using a written medium, an actual notebook. And there are a couple reasons for that. One, the act of putting pen to paper and writing things down charges the paper with subtle energy. This charged energy can contain emotions and memories and other things. An electronic medium won't have the benefit of that. Two, and perhaps more importantly, the current age we live in is one in which anything you do online or electronically has the potential to be witnessed by another human being. Because of that, people tend to not lie, that isn't the right word, but not share the complete truth regarding their personal thoughts on various issues. And since the person you're planning on sharing this with is you, that's a really bad thing. With a physical notebook, for somebody to come read this, they actually have to come get the damn thing. This allows you to be very free with yourself, to write down thoughts that you would never share with another human being, no matter how crazy. So it's a way of preventing you from pulling your punches with yourself. And this is really important. Because again, our active window of memory for these things can be tiny, I mean, really small. So for many reasons, journaling, and more importantly, the quality of your journaling, has a lot to do with your progress in terms of meditative and yogic experience. If for no other reason, then it allows you to keep track of what you actually did. I mean, listen, weightlifters keep journals and books full of their lifts, the number of reps, the weights used, the exercises used. Honestly, this really doesn't work any differently in terms of that. So by having a mechanical understanding of what you've done, you can chart your progress. By properly utilizing the journal, you can defeat this cognitive dissonance problem that plagues all of humanity and is the reason why our memories are generally unreliable. And three, provides an energetic storehouse that can actually relay even more information to you later on. And it also allows you to experiment. Hey, I tried this. I did this given technique for 90 days. This is what happened. Maybe it was a benefit, maybe it wasn't. And it allows you to go back later on to reconcile those thoughts and to see if what you did actually benefited you or not. So again, to sum up, in many ways, journaling will dictate the quality of your results in your meditative experience. So if you liked today's talk, please hit the like button and the subscribe button. And if you would like to learn more about the 60 Skills curriculum, please go into the details in the video down below. Otherwise, train hard and be well.